sure that you ask your questions in the chat. We've got Megan from Computer World there that can relay any questions to me. Today, we're going to be talking all about calling with inside Microsoft Teams. First of all, those of you that Microsoft 365 admins or champions, you might notice the new Cameo feature that I'm utilizing here in PowerPoint. It's always great to see these new features popping up. So this is the ability to embed your camera inside the presentation. So this is just one of the many productivity features that we're seeing coming into 365 that obviously fits really well with bringing your calling into Microsoft Teams as well. So let's have a look at the agenda today, and we're going to have a look at the why change now? Why are people looking at their telephony needs? Why are they looking at Microsoft Teams and what's going on with that? We're going to have a look at the Computer World offering that brings this all together called CW Voice for Teams. We're going to have a look at what is included in the Microsoft phone system. What is it? How does it work? And how does it hang together? We're going to have a look at the experience for calling inside Microsoft Teams for your users. We're going to talk about Microsoft Teams Room. And you might spot that I'm in a Teams room here at Computer World's headquarters at Apex House. And then we'll sum it all up. And importantly, anyone that's watching this, if you really want to see a full demonstration, you want to talk about how the features might work in your environment, please reach out to your Computer World account manager and we'll more than happily do a demonstration and a discovery session for you to really dig into that. So let's just first of all focus on the why now. Why are people looking to change their telephony system? And I think probably everybody on this call will be able to relate with this image, and that's whether you're a user or you're an IT administrator. Telephones are one of those things that certainly business telephones that at some point you've screamed at because you've lost someone trying to transfer them over to someone else. They're those technologies that have a load of wonderful features, but the users struggle to actually understand how to use them. And it's kind of one of those technologies that sit on the periphery of IT. Do IT have the time, the knowledge and experience to keep managing and maintaining those systems that are out there? And I've been on both sides as a user and also as an IT administrator and an IT manager in a company. But we're also seeing a large amount of other changes happening at the moment. Obviously, during the last 2 years during COVID, we've seen an increase in flexible working, and we're now in the hybrid working era. That means that we as IT professionals need to support people working in any location. And we've seen those organizations that are really struggling to allow people to work from home with their phone system following them wherever that may be. And this is where some of this need for change comes in. If you have a particularly legacy phone system, you also might be using ISDN or an ISDN 30 or something like that as connectivity from your phone system to the telephony network. And that is going end of life by December 2025. So now is a good time to be looking at modernizing that technology as well. The new way of doing this is obviously a cloud-centric, use any device from any location methodology, and that's exactly what we're able to do with calling inside Microsoft Teams. So here at Computer World, we've put together our offering to be able to help customers with that transition, moving from the legacy phone systems into the modern way of calling. We're able to offer a competitively priced solution that uses Microsoft Teams for the technology. It uses our telephony partners Gamma for their availability, their disaster recovery, the carrier class network that they've got for the connectivity to the telephone network, all coupled with our experience to help you migrate, to set the system up, to fully support you moving forward, and most importantly, train your users so they can actually use the system moving forward. I'm not going to go into this into great detail, but we're able to offer very competitively priced solutions. We're able to customize it to meet your needs. So if you're something like a housing association or a local council, we can also do contact center solutions that we see lots of those people looking at. We're able to make sure that you don't have to worry about the amount of minutes that are included within your contract. All contracts get exactly the same amount of minutes, and we make sure that that transition period is really easy. Why did we choose to partner with Gamma? Well, they're the UK's leading provider for telephony over the internet, the SIP technology. Gamma own and operate all of their network. They offer carrier level scale and resilience, and they've got a wide amount of customers. So they were the right partner for us to be able to do, and it also allows us to offer a price that can even beat Microsoft in terms of the price you would get from going to Microsoft Direct. So let's have a look at what CW Voice for Teams in action looks like, or what calling inside Microsoft Teams looks like. Now, those of you that are in Teams now, that you're joining this webinar from the Teams client, you'll probably notice on the left-hand side of your screen, you've got a small telephone symbol. If you click that, you will see the calls that you have made using Teams inside of there. Now, if you're licensed for the phone system component, you will also see the dialing pad and have the ability to forward your calls. From this same screen, you're able to set up favorites that you want to call quickly and easily. You're able to review all of the calls that have come in and gone out, or maybe you've missed, and forward your calls elsewhere. And importantly, if you're maybe at home rather than in the office and you pick up your iPhone, you're able to access all this same system, the same solution, receive calls from anywhere in the world and make calls to any mobile phone or landline number directly from the Teams client on your mobile. But that doesn't mean that you can only make and receive calls from the Teams client. You can also use supported telephones like we've got here on the screen, or you could use a Teams room or a conference phone that is supported to do this as well. So just because you want to bring your calling into Microsoft Teams, it doesn't mean that you have to get rid of your telephones. Having said that, lots of people do opt for going for something like a headset that you will have seen me wearing a few moments ago. So let's talk about how this could work in a real life scenario. And we've put a bit of a story together here based upon a sales professional. He starts his day by going into Teams onto a video call, joining his colleagues in a team chat to get the day started. And after the team chat has finished, he then has to call one of his customers on the telephone on his mobile phone. So he does that directly from Teams, doesn't need to change to a different application, maybe is calling it from a favorite or from a CRM system to make that call going outbound. Whilst talking to that customer, he realizes that he needs a bit of technical assistance and he adds one of our pre-sales professionals onto the call. That pre-sales professional is actually using Microsoft Teams. So at that point, we're bringing together a standard telephone call to a mobile with a Teams call all together in one conversation. Later in that same day, the sales professional then moves and goes to work from a customer site, and he's able to receive a call from a vendor at that point with an update on a order that he's placing. And whilst he is in the meeting with that customer, he has a voicemail left for him. Now that voicemail is available in Microsoft Teams. It's actually annotated into text. So you can actually view what it is. Alternatively, you can listen to it back from there. But again, you've not had to leave Microsoft Teams client. You've not had to place a call into a mailbox and retrieve it. It's available directly inside Microsoft Teams. And of course, when he gets home, he's able to continue working. A customer might call him and say, I've got an accounts inquiry, and he's able to forward that call onto the accounts department quickly and easily, not having to remember key codes on how you transfer in calls from one place to another. Now, finally, lucky him, end of the day, he's going on holiday. So he sets himself out of the office and he forwards his calls onto his colleague. So hopefully this just shows you a day in the life of how someone, a sales professional in this example, can use these technologies to basically run their day, to be productive in Microsoft Teams. They've not had to use different devices. They've not had to go to different places. This is really where Microsoft Teams is becoming that central hub for productivity. So let's have a look at one of the core components that makes up this solution, and that is the Microsoft phone system. So the phone system does what it says on the tin. It is a phone system that is made by Microsoft, comes from the heritage of Skype for Business, that is hosted in the cloud alongside Azure and Microsoft 365. Microsoft manage and maintain it from a technical perspective, and you have the ability to configure it to meet your needs. It works with the Teams client or trusted hardware. It is a replacement for your existing on-premises or cloud-based phone system, and it allows you to connect your Teams client to the public telephony network. It has a wide range of features that are available. You can see some of those on screen. Things like auto attendance, those messages you get. So if you ring Computer World, it says, thank you for calling Computer World. Please press 1 to speak to sales, so on and so forth. And you can either do text to voice for those menus, or you can have professionally recorded messages. We've got voicemail, we've got group pickup, we've got hold music. We have the ability to forward, transfer calls. We have call queues, call parking, and call blocking. We also have the ability to extend this functionality with features from providers such as Anywhere 365 to have full contact center, to have call recording functionality, and more. So the important part is when you are looking to change your phone system, if you have specific needs that you're going to need out of a new phone system, speak to your computer world account manager and get myself or Anthony involved, where we'll be able to fully understand what you need and put together the right solution for you. Now, you do have options that are available. There are a number of different components. To use the phone system, you've got to have your Office 365 or Microsoft 365 license. You've got to be licensed for Microsoft Teams, and you've got to be licensed for the phone system. You then have two ways of doing it. You can buy a calling plan from Microsoft, or you can go with a direct routing provider such as Computer World to place your calls. Now, with us being a direct routing provider, we're able to offer higher levels of resilience, higher levels of disaster recovery, and we're able to offer additional minutes and additional features that Microsoft don't provide. And we're able to do all that in a cost-effective manner that actually works out more cost-effective than doing it with Microsoft Direct. So you get that power and that resilience of the Gamma network with the support and consultancy from Computer World. So for those techies on the call, I created a bit of a technical diagram to run through how this works. Your users will either use the Teams client on their laptop, a Teams room, like I've got in the image here, a telephone, and we like Yealink telephones or poly telephones, or a headset like that I'm wearing. They will connect from either home or from the office to the Microsoft phone system that runs in the cloud. Then using the direct routing technology, it connects into the Computer World CW Voice session-based border controller hosted by Gamma. That is fully managed and maintained by Gamma, fully configured by Gamma, so it's not a piece you need to worry about, but it has the added resiliency and added functionality that if in the event the Microsoft Teams phone system goes down and there is a worldwide outage, it has been known to happen with Microsoft technologies every once in a while, we're able to choose to route specific calls to specific places to make sure your business doesn't go down. And then importantly, you need an amount of minutes to connect to the telephone network to send and receive those calls. We have the ability to further extend this technology if you require those contact center solutions, or if you want to be able to work with your existing phone system. So we're able to do this slightly differently, and we work with a slightly different provider. But if you have those specific needs, let us know, and we'll design a solution that meets your very specific needs. Any questions, please feel free to ask, and I'll happily answer those. So let's just recap on the licensing. So as I already mentioned, you need to be licensed for Teams with Office 365 or Microsoft 365. And in addition, you need the Teams phone system license. You can get that with Teams Phone Standard, an additional bolt-on license, or if you already have Microsoft 365 E5, you will get the Teams phone license included with that. You then either need a calling plan or a direct routing provider such as Computer World that connects you out to the network. And then finally, for any of your meeting rooms, you will need meeting room licenses to power the technology like that we've got here behind us. You may also have some telephones that are in public areas, or they aren't assigned to specific people, like in reception, in a warehouse, in a goods in area. We can use something called a common area phone license, which mitigates the need to have a Teams license associated, etc. They're just for generic phones that aren't assigned to specific people. So as I've already mentioned, you can use Teams certified devices. So the one that's behind me here and in the picture is ideal for a small huddle room or a meeting room. So this is a Poly X30. We've paired it here with a Dell touchscreen, so we can use the whiteboard functionality when started by a third party. Then underneath, we have a wide variety of Microsoft Teams phones, from the very simple Yealink phone that can be seen to the middle left of the screen, or the Yealink phone to the bottom right of the phone that has a webcam built into it, perfect for an executive's desk. If your managing director is in and out of meetings all the time, this would allow him to have a very simple device on his desk that allows him to join video calls as well as sending and receiving audio calls. But importantly, you don't have to have that. Many people choose to have a headset like I do to ensure the call quality, to ensure the outside background noise is blocked out as well. So that's really what I wanted to run you through today. Microsoft Teams calling and CW Voice for Teams allows you a way to move away from complicated legacy phone systems. We've got to be honest, most of us IT professionals don't like managing them. We often end up having to have very expensive outsourced contracts, and users take a while to get used to being able to do that and the features. With CW Voice for Teams, we include training with what we do, and you'll get access to our Adopt 365 platform. So any new users, anyone that wants a refresher, has the ability to go in and see training from our Microsoft certified trainer, Megan, to understand how to make the most out of the phone system. It will enable calling to landlines and mobile devices directly in the Microsoft Teams client, and it will allow you to place and receive calls from any location with a reliable internet connection. As the telephone call goes over the internet, you do need a reliable connection. I don't recommend this as an alternative to using your mobile on the go. Forward your calls to your mobile and use your mobile for that functionality. But when you're at either end, when you've got good 3G, 4G, or faster connection, you can send and receive those calls. We fully support this solution here at Computer World with specialists in our consultancy team, our architecture team, our service desk, and our help desk, and we have the training that is included. So if you would like more information, if you would really want to see this in action, speak to your account manager and ask about our discovery and strategy assessment. With this, we'll do a full demonstration with you. And if you want to come into the Computer World offices, we can actually use some of the devices and Teams rooms to show you how all that integrates. We'll discuss actually how are you using your phone system today and how is it meeting your needs. And we'll also look at recommendations for how we could configure a Microsoft phone system solution with CW Voice for Teams within your environment. We'll review any of the hardware that's needed, telephones, headsets, Teams rooms, etc. And then we'll create you an overview document with some budgetary pricing to understand what's needed. So this is quite an easy solution. This is the way that everybody is moving to be able to deal with the hybrid ways of working, the flexible ways of working. Our meeting rooms are changing as well, that it's not just a place where people go into the meetings. We've got to have meetings that are equitable. Whether you're inside the organization or working from home, that meeting room needs to bring people together to deliver that true experience. So I hope you found this useful. Really happy to answer any questions if you want to put them in the chat. But if not, reach out to your account manager and we'll help to dig into the technology and how it could work for you.
There has been a question, Barry.
Okay.
So Matthew said, is there any tannoy capability using Teams calling? The use case is in our main offices. We used to be able to broadcast an announcement across all the phones and handsets in the event of an emergency, for example, a first aider required, etc. We removed almost all desk phones now, even though our call center is running remotely via software and outgoing Mitel system. While Teams phone is probably not a 22-23 problem to solve, it'd be good to understand the above as it saves us looking for a separate.
Brilliant. That's a fantastic question. And to be honest with you, it's not a feature that I've seen inside the Teams phone system. It doesn't mean that it might not be available with a third party or another solution. What we could also look into another capability around that tunnel functionality. I know it's something we used to use at Computer World, but we haven't used recently. So let me come back to you on that one. That's a really interesting challenge to have a look at.
And then another question is, does this work on the Neat products? Obviously, Neat boards are something we love at Computer World. Does it work on the Neat products?
Yeah, so Neat is a fantastic new AV vendor that has a selection of products that are compatible with Teams rooms. If you have a Neat board, that is fully certified to work with Teams today, and actually we've already got it in our boardroom. I think we've got a webinar coming up next month where we'll be doing live demonstrations of the Neat board, as well as the other technology. So yes, that is fully supported. When you go through the setup, you choose whether you want Teams or Zoom with those products. There are other products in the suite, such as the Neat panel and the Neat bar and the Neat bar Pro, I think it is. Those are not currently certified, but I'm told any day now they're looking to be certified. So yes, Neat is fully on the Teams bandwagon and lots of people are looking at that technology already.
And there is someone else typing, so I'd love to stall as long as I can. Oh, no, they've stopped typing. That was all the questions for now.
Brilliant. So from my perspective, what I would urge people to do is if you're looking or considering this technology, let's start a conversation now. You might not be ready to do it for a year or 18 months from now, but let's start looking at the technology. Fantastic example about the tannoy functionality. How's that going to work? And how are you looking to do that inside your organization? We can start getting things together for you so you know what it looks like, you know what the cost is going to be, and importantly, you know what the transition is going to be from your existing phone system to the new phone system. I really do appreciate everyone that's joined today and everyone that helps support these kind of webinars. It's a lot easier talking to people and having questions from the audience. So thank you ever so much. Remember, we've got Define Tomorrow coming up at the end of November. Megan, what was the dates again?
23rd of November at Ashton Gate in Bristol. So big event coming, good event coming with lots of good speakers, and we're just starting to announce some of the speakers as well.
Fantastic. We've got lots of good speakers coming from Microsoft as well as some people that specialize in the Microsoft Team Room technology from Microsoft, as well as all the people from Computer World. So thank you very much, and I look forward to speaking to you soon.